And right now, across the world, politics is changing, because we used to have this choice between left and right, red and blue politics, conservative, Democrat, socialism. And as you say in your writing, neither of them have worked. And I think you can see this in voting programs across the world, that there's so many hung parliaments, because what's the difference? And we really are looking for new answers. It's not contained in that left and right thinking,
Absolutely.
socialist versus capitalism. And you talk about creating cultural transformation. It's these new conversations, isn't it, that we have to try and find a third way in politics. Or, I'm excited at the possibilities, or have been excited at the possibilities in the UK with our coalition government, very heavily conservative, but it's presenting new possibilities because they're having to collaborate. And as soon as you use the word collaborate, it means politics are different, because it hasn't been about collaboration before, has it?
But they need a different vision. And this is really where the caring economics comes in. Because the tired old conversation about capitalism versus socialism is totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Totally. One of the missing elements in the conversation is the status of women. We have many empirical studies now showing that the status of women can in significant respects be a better predictor of both general quality of life and long-term economic success than GDP. For example, in Sweden, Norway, Finland, women are approximately 40% of the national legislatures. Well, what happens is not the occasional woman, who plays the old dominator game. But when you get a mass of women in, you get more caring policies, but not only women, men. As the status of women rises, men no longer feel so threatened in their status, in their, quote, masculinity, to also embrace more caring values. So men in those nations do more of the child care, do more of the housework. Not enough yet, but it's a process.
It is changing, isn't it? I mean, interestingly, recently the Swiss government, I think it was Switzerland, they have now more females in their register. That's just happened in the last few months. And I was very disappointed in the UK that I think out of 26 or 30 in the cabinet, we've only got 4 women.
It's ridiculous.
That was, we've still only got 4 women in these high leadership roles. So, do you have a message that I can take back to Mr. Cameron?
The message is, if you really talk about representative democracy, it's a joke. If you so devalue, disenfranchise, exclude what is the majority, because women are the majority, but at least half the population, it should be 50-50 at least. And there's so many areas where we women can make a difference. We can run for office, we can hold our politicians accountable, and we can tell them, we want a different conversation in which we are featured. Also working for new measurements of economic health. GDP is a lousy measure, and there are efforts now to supplement it. But again, this is where we're working now at the Center for Partnership Studies. We need measures such as what we are now working with the state of the USA and the United States that measure social wealth. Measures in which, again, the investment in the work of care is shown, or the lack of investment, and the consequences from that lack of investment in all the back-end costs, in all the lost human potential, and also women. Women as really protagonists rather than marginalized. Because as I said, the studies show that for many reasons, and I can't go into that now, though I write about it, as the status of women is higher, the general quality of life and the long-term economic success of a nation also rise.
So the future is the rise of the woman, and it's the rise of the feminine, isn't it? It's those two things, the feminine in men and women, and the rise of women themselves.
Well, it's really sort of disentangling, quote, masculinity from this notion that to be a real man, you can't be soft, you can't be, quote, feminine. Because men can be just as caring, and some women aren't, you know.
They can be very compassionate.
Yeah. So it's really it's women working with enlightened men to really, for cultural, economic, social transformation. And I'm passionate about this, not only through my research and my writing and my advocacy work, but as a mother and a grandmother deeply concerned, as so many of us are, about what kind of future our children will inherit. And you know what? It's up to us. And really it's up to women. I mean, that's why I'm teaching again in leadership programs through a PhD program as well. We've got to really take this opportunity. It's a window of opportunity. The old is not working. So it's up to us to really redefine economics, redefine values in the way that really matters.
We've got a lot of work to do, haven't we?
Yes, but what else is there?
Important work, thank you. We could talk all day, we really could. Thank you very much, Riane.
My pleasure.
That was great. Thank you. See you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.